Students, I am Dr. Praveen Tripathi, Faculty of Psychiatry, and we are continuing with the Decoded series. In this video, I would be talking about a very interesting, a very practical problem, but still something that many suffer with or many struggle with. And it's the complaint that, sir, I start comparing myself with my friends or my classmates, and that comparison is causing a lot of trouble, it is causing a lot of problem, and how do I get out of it? So this happens, right? Many students, tend to see their batchmates or their friends, their even close friends who are preparing along with them for the entrance examination. And when we prepare for entrance examination, that feeling of competitiveness is at its peak. So sometimes when your friend is doing better than you, or when your colleague is doing better than you, you start comparing yourself with that colleague, and that comparison may become unhealthy. It may become unhealthy in the sense that you start losing your focus, or you start spending too much time thinking about them, and you start getting irritated or frustrated because of that, and it actually starts harming your preparation, and that is when the comparison becomes unhealthy. Competition, healthy competition which motivates you is good, but if it goes too if it becomes too strong or goes to an extreme, then it becomes unhealthy. Now, first of all, please remember that this feeling of comparison is very normal. It happens to almost everybody. The extents may differ. Some may be very competitive to the extent of getting jealous. Others may be less competitive, but it happens to almost everyone. So if you are comparing yourself with a good friend of yours, it's not that you are a bad person. It's not that you are doing a sin. It's a normal human emotion, right? As human beings, we are susceptible to all kind of negative emotions, and that is true for all of us, and that does not make you a bad person. Said that, we have to identify whether our comparison is becoming unhealthy or not. If it is becoming unhealthy, if you are becoming envious or jealous, and that is hampering your preparation, in that case you have to take steps to fix it. You have to take steps to fix it. Now, how you feel is not so much in your control, but how you respond to that feeling is quite in your control. And that is why we say that you have to respond that feeling or emotion in the right way. For example, say you took a grand test. Your friend got a very good score, and your score was 5% lesser or 10% lesser. And the thought comes, why did she get such a good score? She's so lucky that she got such a good score. Or you may actually have some bad words in your mind. You may use a bad word, and that she's that kind of person and got a good score. Now, when you allow these thoughts to come in your mind, you feel bad, you feel angry, you feel irritated, and then you waste a lot of time dealing with that anger or irritation. You may make imaginary scenarios in your head, and those scenarios further waste your time, make you even more angry, and you kind of get stuck in that loop. What if you respond yourself in the right way? A thought comes that how come she got more percentage than me? How come she got better rank than me? How come he scored better than me? And you respond to yourself, it's okay. He has been studying very hard, and she has been doing very well. She has been studying very hard, and anybody who works hard, of course, gets the results, right? So when you answer yourself in a more healthy way, immediately that negative feeling gets neutralized. Now you would not get into that loop, right? So please remember, whatever you tell yourself is going to make all the difference. If you start creating imaginary scenarios in your brain, you will go down that line of negativity, and will feel trapped into it. But if you yourself come up with a positive or healthy response, that this happens, she prepared well, next time I can also prepare well, whosoever prepares well will get a good score. When you say things like that, you do not allow the negativity to become dominant. Also, just by changing the way you respond to those thoughts, you can turn the jealousy into motivation. Just consider these two thoughts. The first thought, how come she got such a good score? How can she do it while others are not able to do it? Versus a thought where you say, she got a good score, let me understand what she is doing, and probably that will help me also to get a good score. Right? First thought, full of jealousy. Second thought, the same scenario of your friend getting a better score, you use it to motivate yourself. उसने इतना अच्छा कैसे कर लिया, क्या समझते हो अपने आप को, या क्या समझते हो अपने आप को, versus she or he did so well, let me also try doing the same, it will improve my result too. Right? Jealousy changes into motivation. Just a little bit of word play, and the emotion gets changed, and when the emotion becomes of motivation, you feel like studying. When the emotion is of jealousy, of course it's a negative emotion, nothing good can come out of it. So jealousy versus motivation, just a word play. Now please remember, this is a very good thing. Often it is said that if you want to become successful, just start following or just start doing what successful people do. Right? Becoming successful is no rocket science. People tend to do certain things to get results, and anybody can copy that. Right? If one of your friends is getting great results, just understand from them, what are they doing? Are they focusing more on the previous year questions? Are they focusing more on certain topics? And are they following a particular strategy? And try to copy that. In fact, most of the students would be happy sharing with you their success stories or what they are doing. Right? Even if they don't share it by themselves, it's pretty evident. There is no hidden formula of success. It's all out there. Right? Just copy them. Just get motivated from them. In fact, go to them and ask for help. If you have a good friend who is getting good results and that is making you jealous or envious, rather than getting drowned in that negative feeling, go to your friend and say, listen dear, you have been doing pretty well, I'm so happy for you, and I want to do the same, can you help me? The moment you say these words, your friend is automatically going to help you. See, nobody is completely evil in this world. Most of the people have some good qualities, some bad qualities, and when you ask for help from a friend, they usually help you. Also, say you have a friend who is doing very good, and you tried copying their strategy, you tried following what they do, but they are in a different league. Please remember that there is no one way of getting successful in life or successful in the entrance examination. Different people have different capabilities. There are certain people who are simply gifted. Their memory is brilliant and their attention power is brilliant, their attention span is brilliant. What it takes an average person to complete it, what an average person takes 2 hours to complete, they complete in 40 minutes and they can remember it all. Right? In that case, probably trying to copy their strategy or trying to learn from them would not work. In that case, just remember that there is no single way. They are doing it their way. You follow what suits you the best. And lastly, if none of these things work, and a particular friend of yours, the results of his or hers is bugging you too much, it is unsettling you too much, please accept it that you are not feeling so good about a particular person for whatever reason, and in that case change your circle. Rather than hanging out with a person who makes you feel very small or who makes you feel really bad about yourself, it's better to hang out with people who are in the same space as yours, who are also struggling to get better. And when you are with these people, at least you don't feel little about yourself. You don't feel that you are you have less qualities or you are not as good. Right? Ensure that you don't start hanging out with people who are not doing anything. There are always students in the class who are not serious. They don't want to get selected. They don't care about the results. Don't start hanging out with them. But there are other people who are also in the same boat as you are, and maybe that will make you feel better. So as you can see, there is no single strategy that works in all cases. We have to try different things. Something or other will suit you, and ensure that you don't waste too much of your time in these negative emotions of jealousy and enviousness. It's an important year. You have to accomplish a lot, and you don't really have enough time to waste on these silly things. I hope I was able to give you some important tips here, and study very hard, keep working hard. Small changes every day make a lot of difference 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line, and may God bless you all.